It's time to fix your slice. You've watched hundreds of videos online on how to fix your slice, bow the wrist more, rotate the body more, belt buckle towards the target. We've seen it all.
Yep.
We're not gonna talk about any of that in this video. We're gonna introduce a couple key concepts you probably never heard before in relation to the hand to handle to face relationship. So biggest things that we got to really understand when it comes to why the golf ball is slicing is understanding the quadrants of the golf ball. We'll pull up this graphic here and just really give you a good understanding of where the inner quadrant is and where the outer quadrant is. So for all the slicers out there, they're striking more the outer quadrant, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to build a wall.
Yes.
And by building that wall, we're really going to give you the best chance to striking more the inner quadrant of the golf ball. For all the slicers out there, they're very familiar with striking the outer quadrant of the golf ball. Why is that happening?
Because of the address. So what happens with that, go ahead and take your address here. So the grip is a bit weak. The trail arm is a bit more outside of the lead arm, and also the handle is back. And then also the weight is going to tend to then shift more to the right as well, because everything is shifting this way and more outside like this. So that is naturally going to cause us to try to strike that outer quadrant of the golf ball.
Okay. So basically, the more the hands are on top of the club, the more we're going to hit the outer quadrant.
Correct.
Got it.
And when we think from an address standpoint, again, we want to make sure that we understand how the arms are affecting this, how the weight is affecting this. I mean, that also affects like the hips, like alignment wise as well. So what we want to do is we want to get our strong grip. So we want to take the lead hand and we want to get that more over the club on the trail side. Yep, so we want to get the strong grip. Yep, imagine that 12 o'clock is straight up and down. We want to get the lead thumb at 230.
Perfect.
Trail palm plants to the lead thumb knuckle.
Oh, so I'm way more on the side now. Okay.
And then even the trail thumb is also in a sense, kind of at the 230 position.
Okay, got it.
So now from there, if we look at...
Arms already feel like they're better, right?
Exactly. So when we talk about like basically trying to create this like wall, right? The wall is the lead arm.
So we're building the wall right now.
Yes. The wall is established by getting the lead elbow to point, in a sense, for a right-handed golfer a little bit to right field. The trail elbow is pinned underneath, and naturally you can see how the hips and shoulders, everything, are naturally going to look like they're pointing more to the right. That's fine though. His toe alignment is not going to change. But the idea now is that in swing...
So this wall is basically just preventing me from swinging left.
Correct.
And hitting the outer quadrant.
Correct. Because when you look at like the dynamics of when you turn like this, naturally everything feels like it's going to be like, instead of going like out here, now we're turning that arrow and going more here.
Yeah, I feel like it's just really setting me up to where, like you said, if I have that lead elbow, I feel like it's pointing almost like in the woods.
Yes.
Which is kind of scary if you're like used to going in the woods. But I'm basically aiming my elbow at the woods and swinging at the woods.
Exactly. Now,
easy.
Let's look at it from this standpoint too. So if we have that proper setup position, we have the grip strong, we have the elbows proper. Now, in the backswing, we don't really have to think too much about the body. We just have to now...
Because it's already kind of where it needs to be, right?
And you're pre-rotated a bit
I'm already kind of like pre-closed to the target a little bit, I feel like, right?
So on an angle standpoint, imagine that your body feels like it's approximately maybe 10 to 15 degrees closed, right?
Yes.
So now, when you set the club back, you're going to set it in that same direction like this.
The club can go a little bit inside, that's okay?
That's okay.
Okay.
And then we're going to work it just underneath trail shoulder to the top. This helps with getting to that point. And then from here, now if we hold the positioning that we had it addressed.
Not rotating here.
Correct. Not trying to open
Just
up. Try to hold position and then stick the finish to the end zone on that same angle, 10 to 15 degrees out to the right.
Again, to the trees.
We're fixing our slice.
Yikes.
And that's it. So when we think about we've established this wall, let's say we've set the club head back properly in this direction. Now when we come down to impact and we go to post impact, if the wall is staying like in a sense braced, then the gear effect can happen with the hands and arms. Now, let's say, for instance, if we had our weaker grip, or just say, there we go. Okay, good.
My grip.
So now coming through.
We're breaking the wall here.
The wall is going to break down and we're going to pull across the body.
Got it. So by having the lead arm like this, it's really just bracing this whole lead side, which is allowing trail hand to work properly.
That's the key right there.
This goes here. Trail arm comes over because there's nothing preventing it from coming over.
So real quick, if I have your club, so if you hold your lead arm straight out in front of you, a great drill is basically if you take your trail hand and arm, like imagine that like if you go back, you have like your lead hand arm going back like this and like hold that right there. Now from here, try to release the trail hand and arm underneath that.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And do that a few times. There you go. That's really supporting the brace from the top
So
of the
this
swing.
is like, this is going this way as this is going this way.
Bingo.
So it's like,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, that's
Yes.
a good, okay, nice.
Okay.
So now I'll feel that same sensation.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Like
there we
that.
go.
Nice.
Let's see what happens.
And I can just step up, get my good grip.
Yep. Get the setup good. Get that swing well
Okay.
established.
Let's hit one. Let's hit one doing this.
Yep. Let's see it.
No big deal, just aiming at the trees with my hips and shoulders feeling wise.
There it is.
Whew,
That was money.
that's scary.
I know. Right.
Jeez.
So
I mean, I'm
just-
literally, like in my mind, I feel like it's just like trees all day. Golf Dimples is just shaking down there in the tee, but he knows I'm pre-closed. I got my strong grip.
So one thing real quick, just to make sure that everyone understands that we're still aiming the toes parallel down the fairway, right?
Oh, okay,
Like
right,
we're
yeah.
parallel left. Because the common idea is that if you get the presets, you might tend to feel like you're aimed to the right like this, and then from there, if you do the move perfect, then you're swinging technically a little bit too much out to the right.
Okay,
exactly.
then that's gonna be too much hook.
Exactly.
But
So we
for-
want to
yeah.
make sure we're parallel left, and then from there, now do these like little, static kind of tweaks at address, and then from there, you're gonna feel like you're swinging out to the trees, but realistically, the ball's gonna be right down the
Like
middle.
we always tell our students, square toes before you pre-close.
I love it. Square toes before you pre-close.
Square toes, pre-close.
Boom.
Swing to where
Love
the
it.
elbow is pointing.
That's it.
All right, no more slicing. Hopefully that all makes sense. I know it's scary at first when you're used to hitting it in the trees and we're telling you, point your elbow in the trees, swing to the trees. It's kind of a scary concept, but it's gonna work. We've had it work with tons of students and
We just proved it.
no more, exactly, we just proved it there. No more searching for slice videos. This is the only video you're ever gonna need
Yep.
if you're slicing the ball.
That's it.